In this video, we're gonna talk about maximizing your productivity in your business. If you're a physical therapist, and you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, you have to maximize how much input, how much work you can do. First of all, let's get to the foundation of what it means to be an entrepreneur. So some of you may have been an employee and now you're transitioning to an entrepreneur. It is very important that you have that distinction because this is what employees do. Sorry to spoil it to you. Employees, they do as little as possible in as much time as possible. As little as possible and as much time as possible because they're paid by the hour. They're paid this one set amount no matter how much they do, no matter how little they do. So why would I do a bunch if I'm gonna be paid the same? I might as well do the minimum requirement to keep my job without getting fired. That's an employee mindset. Now over here, you're now an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur CEO mindset is like, how much can I accomplish in as little time as possible? AKA, how efficient can I be in the time allotted for me to be able to do this specific task? It is so important. It's the same exact thing that allowed me to earn $12,000 a month as a physical therapy student, only working 2 hours a day. Working 2 hours a day is because I had that entrepreneur mindset early, because honestly, I only had 2 hours a day work. I had to try to pass school. I had to try to not fail out of school. I had to pass my classes and get my license. So I became very efficient on getting a lot of work done in as short as time as possible. What's up, guys? My name is Dr. Odell Miller, and I'm the guy who went from $0 to $51,000 a month in my physical therapy practice as a new grad in less than 6 months after graduation. The purpose of this channel is to simply help you start and grow your business to 50K plus months, but not only a business that like you work in it, but also a business that can operate while you're on vacation so you can buy back time and some of your freedom. So if you're new to this channel, welcome to the channel. Make sure you subscribe. You're gonna really enjoy it here. Comment below what you think. And if you're a return subscriber, appreciate you. What's up? Let's get started with the video. What has been super beneficial to my success today is something called time blocking. I call it non-negotiable workflows or deep intentional work sessions. It's been super beneficial all the way down to when I was a student. I would have this for my studying as well. Some students, for example, they would freak out. They would study super hard before the exam. Oh my gosh, I forgot we had an exam tomorrow. I gotta start studying. Let me pull an all-nighter. I pulled this many all-nighters when I was a physical therapy student, when my classmates were doing it all the time as if it was normal. I'm like, why are you pulling all-nighters? You literally know that we have an exam next week. Why don't you start studying so that you're prepared ahead of time instead of trying to do it last minute? Guess what? They were reactive to things. They had to react based on what was going on in the environment. So basically the public, it's called a public to-do list. Like you're basically just reacting to whatever you need to do or that pops up in your calendar. Whereas me, myself, I would schedule time throughout my week knowing what's coming up so that I was prepared and I would never have to stay up too late. I would never have to pull all-nighter because why would I do that when I literally can just plan effectively? So same with our business. We need to create these workflows, these time blocks in which we work at different sections of our business. That can be broken down into attraction, which is AKA marketing, posting your content. Like when do you do that? When do you post your content? It can be conversion. When do you convert? When do you take sales calls? When do you take sales meeting? When do you meet with people? And it also can be delivery. When do you actually provide the care to your patients and to your clients as well? Very important for you to time block yourself in that aspect. Because what this allows you to do, same thing in school. I was never anxious about school or project because I already know that I already put the time in my calendar allotted to what I needed to do to accomplish that thing. So if I had an exam and I know that I need to go through 5 different chapters, I already have those chapters. Today I work on chapter 1. Today I work on chapter 2. On day 3, I combine chapter 1 and 2 and do a review of those 2. Day 4, I do chapter 4. Day 5, I do chapter 5. Day 6, I do combined 4 and 5. Day 7, I do a combine of all of them. And then day 8, I'll go through it and work on the things that I don't feel as prepared for. That's how you have to have it in your business as well. On Mondays, Monday's my content day. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is sit down and create these type of content: connection, proof, authority. I'm gonna create this content. So then throughout the week, I don't actually have to worry about content creation, which you should be documenting yourself. But anyway, I'm talking about like specific like videos to your programming and CTAs and ads or whatever you're doing. But now during the week, you don't have to worry about that. And then you say, okay, my editor has it on Monday. Tuesday, I schedule out all the content for the week. Guess what? Now you don't have to worry about that. Whereas other people who aren't doing that, every day they're like, oh, it's 9 a.m. I need to figure out something to post. Have to think of something on the spot. And the reason I know this is because I was there as well. Have to figure out something on the spot. Oh, it's 12 o'clock, I need to post again. 3 o'clock, oh, I need to post again. But rather, if you plan ahead, you can get that done in like an hour for the entire week to literally post twice a day. And all you have to worry about day to day is your stories. Super important. Another thing too with marketing. Okay, every day I know in my non-negotiables, I'm gonna spend 30 minutes going out there and messaging people, going out there creating referral sources, going out there and creating new business for myself, doing that every day. And I guarantee you, if you do that every day, it will build your business. But if you wait until like, oh my gosh, shoot, I don't have any more clients, and you haven't been focused on that task the last 2 months, guess what? Now you're living just like the student who pulls it on out there for the exam. You're living it as a reaction to what's on your calendar. You're living as a reaction of the lack thereof of things on your calendar, actually. So you don't want to do that. You want to have these daily workflows that's going to move your business forward. It is very, very important. You also want to have in there like admin, operations, when you're working with your team, when you take team meetings with your team, when you take referral meetings, when do you see patients? And when I was a solo doc working, like it was only me in the business, which I don't advise. I got to $50,000 a month when it was just me in the business. Smoke coming out of my ears because I was everything. And if you don't have an assistant, you are your own assistant. So what I had to do was I said, okay, I'm going to see patients during this time. Before that, I'm going to work on the business, which is doing my content scheduled out for the day. After that, I'll do this, work on operations, work on systems, work on this. Then on the weekends, I have time to do this extra work over here. You have to section yourself out so that when you come day to day, you have it on your phone and you go up to a coffee shop, you go to work, and you're like, all right, what do I do today? Okay, sweet. I need to hop on that Zoom. What do I do? Oh, I need to schedule all of my content. Now it makes it mindless. It makes your growth mindless rather than you being reactionary to whatever it is that you have on your calendar or that you didn't have on your calendar. And now you're freaking out trying to get clients or anything like that. Super, super important that you set up time blocks for yourself. Daily workflows. So for example, if you have 4 hours or if you have 2 hours, let's say, spend 30 minutes doing marketing, 30 minutes delivering to your clients, 30 minutes doing admin work, doing 30 minutes of learning. For example, that could be how you spend those 2 hours. And if you're doing that every day, that'll help you move your business forward. And like I said at the beginning of this video, that's actually how I was able to grow my business to $12,000 a month because of that. Another thing that will really help with this as well is setting a timer. I did this in school for studying as well. So literally set up time blocks. Go on your phone and put a time block on there. Put it for 30 minutes. You set that thing down so you can't get any distractions, and then you go. Then you work. It's gonna be super beneficial for you to be able to stay on task and for you to be able to actually get things done in that time that you allowed it for that task. Number two, one of the best strategies that I've ever learned, which is from Alex Hormozy. I'm sure you're aware who that is. We coach with him. We've been out there 4 times to his workshops with his team. We're in his mastermind, and it's called maker versus manager time. Super, super important for us to understand this as healthcare professionals. So we have 2 different types. There's maker time, there's manager time. Manager time is when you're doing team meetings, consultations, client delivery, managing, meeting with referral partners, managing finances, meeting with your accountant, meeting with your bookkeeper. Those are all manager times, meetings. And then on the other side of that is maker time, which you have to have in your schedule, which is you going out to creating content, creating new business, being able to strategically think about growth for the business, going to coach with coaches, reading your books. Maker time is for marketing and deep business development, strategic growth for your business. That's what you need to focus on during that time. And it's so, so important that you can not only section like your hour by that, but what I advise if you have more time is for the day to be structured that way, or even on a bigger scheme for the week. So Monday for me is a big manager day. I don't make that much on Mondays because that's when I have all of my meetings, getting my team ready for the week. So then Tuesdays, you can say, all right, I'm taking 0 calls, I'm taking 0 meetings. This is my maker day when I can put my head down and develop business. But you can do that for the day as well. If you don't have that type of structure, you could do in the mornings. When is the best time for you to create? Build your schedule around you. When's the best time for you to create? To have a maker time. Okay, maybe you're very productive, maybe you're very creative in the morning, so your maker time should be in the morning. So you take no consultations, no meetings, no patients before this time, and that's when you're creating business. And then you see patients in the afternoon, 12 to 7, or whatever that is for you. That's what you have to set up for your schedule so that you can make sure that you're getting everything in the business, because you don't want to look down the road 2-3 years later and realize that you haven't had any maker time and you're stuck in manager time and your business is staying the same. I see a lot of people who join our mastermind, which you have a mastermind where we help physical therapists, chiropractors, healthcare professionals take their business to the next level to make multiple 5 figures a month, and some of them even 6. We have a couple of people in there doing over 6 figures a month. But when people join our program and they've been making the same revenue for the last 5 years, it's because they didn't put this in their schedule. maker versus manager time. They've been stuck in manager time, just managing what is, but not creating something that's new and where they're headed. If you don't have this, you will stay the same, and you'll be one of those people who join my mastermind and are in the same spot for the next 5 years. Don't do that. Number 3 is minimizing distractions. Minimizing distractions while you're working. One of the best things that you can do is create an environment where you minimize as much distractions as possible. Meaning, you have a coffee shop that you go to where no one's gonna come interrupt. Maybe you don't know anyone there. It's an environment that you can go and just work so you're not distracted. Very, very important. Maybe it's at your office. Maybe it's at your house. Maybe it's wherever it is for you. Find the environment where you are least distracted and go there and work on your maker time. Another thing that's super important is what we all know is our phone. We need to eliminate the phone distractions when you're in your maker time. A good strategy you can do is like literally go to the coffee shop and leave it in your car, or leave this in your backpack. Maybe turn it off and put it on the table. Maybe, like I said, put timers on here and just let it sit there. And when the timer goes off, then you can have like a 15-minute break to go on your phone to get that fixed. But super important that you eliminate distractions because, like I said at the beginning of this video, you are now an entrepreneur. You have to think different. You don't think in terms of trying to do as little as possible in as long as time as possible. You're actually trying to maximize the time that you have to do as much as possible in as little time as possible, and this will help. But as long as you're distracted by your phone or by your environment, you won't be able to do that. The last big one is like your psychological distractions as well. So for you guys, if you have, let's say you went into a heavy maker period, if you have anything else on your calendar during that time, it's actually gonna distract you from being able to go all in on creation. That's the same for me. Whenever I'm creating these videos that you're seeing right now, or whenever I'm creating videos for our mastermind or our HBA Academy, or for anything for my team, and I have like meetings and stuff that afternoon or within the next couple of hours and I'm in a crunch to create, it like bogs down my brain to where I somehow just can't create because there's other stuff that I'm thinking about. Those are psychological barriers, psychological distractions that happen as well. Then same with your team. They need to understand like when you're in your maker time, like when I'm recording and stuff like that, no one distracts me. It's like, tell your team when you're available for meetings as well. The only person that should be able to get to you is obviously your family, but then like your assistant. Everyone should know to go through your assistant if they need to get to you during these time blocks because super important that you have that time to work on the business and they're not pulling you every way because there's gonna be problems going on in the business all the time. There's always problems. People come to you with problems all the time. We actually have a 131 in our business to where it's like, hey, you come to me with one problem. I wanna hear your 3 solutions and the one that you would have chose. Guess what? That's gonna help you eliminate problems, but that's a topic for another video. But at the end of the day, like a lot of times CEOs, entrepreneurs, when you have a team, you're like the end all be all. There's no other person to blame. So you are the last person of defense. You're the last line of defense. So people will come to you with the problems, but they need to understand when to come to you with those problems if the building's not burning down so that you can have the time to be able to create and drive revenue and drive new business as well. Everything that we talked about in this video should help you eliminate decision fatigue. You have to get rid of decision fatigue. That is a real thing. If you're just making decisions all day based on what you should do during this time, based on when you should do this, based on what's on your schedule, based on you have to do maker manager, that is actually gonna limit your growth. So important that you implement all these things that we talked about today in eliminating your decision fatigue. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Also, we're doing a workshop coming up soon, so go click the link in the bio if you wanna learn more of this stuff in depth on how to actually grow your business to $50,000 a month. Click the link in the bio or the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.